Nanyang Girls High School is founded in 1917, and at that point, it's very difficult to start a school for girls. So because of this revolutionary spirit that we have since this school is founded, we would like to make sure that our girls are really relevant in the 21st century. Students these days, they are wired differently from our time. So I think that we really have to use a medium and approach that is exciting so that they will look forward to learning and they will not just learn from the teachers, but to be independent learner as well.
Even though we have a long history, a long culture in this school, I think it's part of that culture that we want to be up to date and we want to change with the times. So I think the introduction of the iPad into lessons is really a natural progression.
We had a framework as to what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to see more student-centered activities. We wanted more peer collaboration. We wanted more differentiation. And we also wanted to see more metacognition.
Which leads to Juliet weeping for Romeo and his love to marry Paris.
We can't just rely on textbooks. The teachers actually have to create a lot of their own materials. In the past, these would have been printed materials, but nowadays we're using iBooks Author to create textbooks for the students. We're able to integrate video clips into the book, which makes the learning far more interactive. We've also, of course, been able to put in questions so the students can actually do self-assessment as they're learning. The great thing about the iPad is the students can learn at their own pace.
When the iPad is used in class, there was a lot more individual work where the children can go as fast as they need to, or if they need to check up a little bit more, go a little bit slower, that's fine.
The iPad has also changed the way that teachers and students interact. The interaction doesn't only now happen in the classroom.
Put it down, it's now free, it will fly by itself.
I'm using the iPad in my lessons on forces and Newton's laws. They're building and firing water rockets. And they're using the iPad not only to document the process, but they're using apps that can measure the angle of launch, to create velocity time graphs, to map the trajectory of the path, and so on. So what we're actually doing now is we're taking them out. They have a chance to have some fun, but at the same time do some mini projects looking into kinematics to do with the rocket. The iPad can do so many things at the same time. Without the iPad, we would have had to get in video cameras, still cameras, and some of the calculations would have required a lot more work, whereas the apps, you can see everything appear in front of you. Now the learning is more real-world learning.
The students do not just look forward to the teachers sharing what they have, but they themselves contributing actively in the class. I think that level of enthusiasm, passion and excitement in learning is a lot more than in a conventional classroom.
The students are becoming the center of the classroom. The iPad has empowered them to have more control over their learning. The level of questioning is actually going up. The iPad allows them to easily find out the basics. They now move on and they ask us much more challenging, higher order thinking questions.
We really think that an engaging way of getting our students to learn is just for them to go out there and experience the real world with a device like iPad in hand. They really don't need to sit in a classroom in that factory mode that has been here since the 19th century. That is the kind of exciting, meaningful lessons that I hope for the children.